going to have that extra barrier, that extra summoner heal to keep yourself alive. And while there will be no ignite for Annie to, you know, really seal the deal, it's still going to be a little bit difficult. Push this monster out of lane, and of course, while Xerath does have a lot of wave clear potential, well, there's one stun that you're not going to be able to get rid of. TuSin actually trading that matchup very effectively. But like I said, while Xerath may have enough, you know, skills to wave clear effectively, his ability to CS perfectly is going to be really put to the test versus an Annie who you can already see is just spamming out that Q on almost every single minion. As long as she's not using it for harass, it's going to come back off a cooldown, and that's just one creep right after another. Another creep bites the dust and missing with her Cone of Flame. That is not necessarily a good usage of your mana or spell cooldowns. TuSin starting to drop very, very low, and while he does have health potions ticking down, he is going to have to stay very, very safe here. We already saw, I believe it was our last matchup, kind of end with TuSin getting sniped down, or with Duke rather, getting sniped down behind his turret. And we see the same thing here for Duke, able to snipe down TuSin. Of course, the big differential as far as HP is concerned, but at the same time, going to be able to stay safe at his turret. Try to drop down most of the CS. There's a nice auto attack there from TuSin. 2 auto attacks in case. I don't think that second. I think the second auto attack was a little bit greedy there by TuSin. It wasn't greasy. That's probably like, you know, his hamburger for lunch or something. But as far as greed is concerned, ooh, actually hitting that Arcana Pulse. Pretty impressive. I did not expect that to land. But every time it does, I am consistently surprised. So TuSin's got a wave of minions coming in. Has his back. If he had landed that shocking orb for the stun, actually would have been really, really damaging, because you probably would have gotten creep aggro there on a Duke's Annie. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Whoa, there's the flash. That's not immediate cleanse, and TuSin able to use that summoner spell to escape the all-in. Summoner spell for summoner, but still it's an aggressive summoner spell usage there with the flash on Annie, whereas it is a defensive summoner spell usage there by TuSin. So TuSin survives the all-in. He'll get cleansed up more quickly, I suppose, than Annie will get flash. But when all is said and done, I actually think that was a little bit of an advantage for Duke in the 1v1, but for TuSin overall, because, you know, TuSin was forced to use the cleanse itself, but not only will it be back up like I just mentioned, but he's also going to get the opportunity to play this lane a little bit more accurately. Now, he is down a Doran's Ring, and that's the real difference that makes. Not only is level 6 going to be coming up here, which arguably is why you pick Cleanse on a carry, is for the level 6 to avoid the Tibbers stun coming out, but Annie actually very, very close to level 6. Shocking Orb will land. That'll be a almost full Xerath combo to be landed. Of course, full Annie combo right back at you. Much more effective. 42 ability power there for TuSin. Keep an eye here on Duke and see what his AP levels are looking at as well. If we can check this out here any second now. Duke with enough sustain to stay relevant in lane. As long as he dodges the Shocking Orbs, it's going to be putting on a lot of pressure. Keep in mind, does not have to worry about ganks. That's actually kind of confusing. I would have expected to see both laners let their waves push onto minions that they're secure, that they can last it with, and then just walk somebody somewhere else. And I think that is the hallmark of a separates a good player from a great player, is the ability to sort of leave things. Whoa, Tibbers coming down, looking for the restun. Is there enough there? Chasing TuSin out. Where is the stun to come out? No follow-up, and chasing TuSin away means that, you know, it's not going to be enough to pick up a kill onto TuSin, but will it be enough to put on pressure significant enough to win this lane? TuSin does make it back to his turret in time, so I guess you can attribute a small advantage to that, but at least for the time being, you can see TuSin always on the defense, is consistently been forced to be defensive, whether it's cleansing, stuns being thrown at him, narrowly being able to run away from any all-ins. Still not necessarily the greatest situation to be in. TuSin going to take a couple auto attacks here as well. Down to about 100 HP. What's TuSin going to do, Sin? It's not going to probably be enough. He doesn't have enough mana. He can't get a range to auto attack to get that mana back off of his passive. And for Duke at this point, he's up 22 CS. A terrible champion choice here in the 1v1 versus Annie here. TuSin just without the mana to be able to sustain his poke-heavy lifestyle, of course, with a lot of thoughts behind this tournament going into it. You arguably, like, it was invite only, so maybe some players have less necessarily overall potential than others. But at the same time, you should expect to see Xerath maybe start to scale up. Maybe this is where Xerath really comes into his own. Once the Doran's rings have been bought. Actually interesting to see a Null Magic Mantle here, the pickup for Duke's Annie. That means that she'll never actually be vulnerable to dying, and I think that's probably what she's looking for. Yeah, just gonna go immediately in with the all-in, and while TuSin does have a few Total Biscuits of rejuvenation just to regen up, I think it's kind of about sending a message at this point. You know, Tibbers lasts for a long time, but oh man, Shocking Orb does land there on Annie, but look at that Null Magic Mantle. You can just see how ineffective all that damage from TuSin is. Tibbers still out there. He's more like a bodyguard. Honestly, you should use Tibbers to stand in the minion wave, but keep in mind, Tibbers does represent a CS, so can be something that you want to deny your opponent, obviously. Of course, with a 30 CS difference between players, not necessarily something you're going to want to see. Now, TuSin did use his cleanse there to be able to escape one stun, but as with most Annies, who spam their spells to get those stuns right back up, Incinerate's still going to stun you if it hits. That is going to be the primary thing to watch out for. TuSin actually using the last little bit of his mana to zone Duke out. Of course, he's been able to auto-attack and get a little bit of that back for, you know, at least one Arcano Pulse, but now chasing him down through the wave. Look at that stun. The harass here from Duke's Annie is actually pretty significant, and now that he has that Null Magic Mantle, he's probably not going to die anytime soon, which is, of course, you know, a good thing to have, as that is one of the win conditions. But, of course, win condition, and I believe number 3 is how on earth do you come back from such a huge CS differential? Now, triple Doran's ring is the point, and you'll notice the pink ward placed on the fountain. That is to negate the 100 gold difference from having that side turret go down, so just even out things as far as gold's concerned. Duke coming back in. There's Mr. Tibbers. There's a full skill combo. Able to walk forward, continue to micro this, get a stutter auto attacks in there. Looking for a Q there. Needs a couple more. And there, one more Q. It's the Incinerate to pick up the kill. Duke evening up this 1v1 score versus TuSin. We're going to get a quick instant replay here. You're going to see walking forward, just no flash available here for TuSin. His cleanse was already down, and that's going to be how the cookie crumbles ignite, or incinerate rather, in there for the win. Duke tying the score here versus TuSin in our first final. Duke